squinty.
I can't help it. It's bright. I could put my new sunglasses on.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. It's pepper and tomato potting up time, pricking out time. They've been on the prop bench now for quite a few weeks. In fact, they were sown on the 29th of 1st. So these first batch are ready. Now, how do we know they're ready? I don't mind how big the top is, because at this stage it doesn't really matter. It's the roots. Now, you can see we've got roots out the bottom. And you've got good active root actually as well. So this one is hundreds and thousands. It's a cherry. No, it's honeycomb actually, sorry. Tomato, cherry, honeycomb.
That's a new one on us.
Yeah, new, not done this one before. So let's have a look. So there, I know that is ready for potting out, pricking out. Prefer to call it pricking out at this stage. So we're going to split these up and we're going to put them into individual pots. So number one mistake that so many people make is as soon as they see the top of the plant. So for instance, as soon as they see a couple bits like this in the top of the pot, so they might necessarily only see that, this tall, and think, oh, it's ready for potting up and there's no roots on it. No, wait until you've got a really good, strong root system. And that goes for everything. It doesn't matter whether you're talking tomatoes, peppers, bedding plants, everything. So that's number one mistake. Number two mistake is what size pot do I put it into? Now, I've got two sizes here. I've got this little tiny one. And I think that's like a 2.5 by 2.5 by 3.5 deep. And then I've got a 4 by 4 by 4.5 deep. Now I'm thinking that even for me may be too big for the tomato plants. And don't overpot. So many times I see people potting up, pricking out tiny little seedlings and putting them into the middle of a 1 gallon pot. The poor thing sits in the middle of that 1 gallon pot, that 2 gallon pot, whatever. It doesn't grow. Plants will not really grow quickly until their root system is established and they start touching the side of the pots. Then they'll put on their growth. So stop over potting everything. You think you're saving yourself time, and you may be, but you're not going to get better plants for it. So let's knock these out and see what we've got. Knock them out, split them up. So I'm literally going to rip these apart. So we have 4 in here. I think I sowed 5, got 5. So that's a really nice, strong root system. Will that go into that pot? Yes, it will. But because it's got such a strong root system, I'm actually going to put these into the slightly bigger one. So a bit of compost in the bottom. Now, every time I say don't hold it by the stem, these things are so solid now, you can quite easily hold them by the stem as long as you're careful. They're not thin, weedy little seedlings. And then how deep? Well, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the 2 cotyledon leaves. So that was its seed leaves. And I'm just going to drop it right down almost to within an inch of the bottom of the pot. And then just fill it up. 1 tap, done.
So the compost is almost up to the next set of leaves, isn't it?
Almost, yeah. And that's going to encourage some more rooting up the stem. Not going to necessarily give you any more fruit. It's going to give you, the plant is going to have a better ability to take on nutrients, take on water if it has more root. So I sowed 4, got 4 out. This one actually is no good. You can see it's gone blind. So it sent up its two seed leaves, then it sent up the main stem, and it's got no new shoot coming out of the top. So that's no good at all. So we'll toss that one out. Compost, it's a mix, peat perlite with wood fiber in it. I'm using one of our potting compost that we use all the time for everything. And there is slow release fertilizer added to it. Now, that's up to yourself whether you want to put a slow release pellet form in there or whether you want a liquid feed. It matters not. whatever you're comfortable with working. Obviously, we have the option to use slow release all the time, and I do it all the time. Not a very strong mix at this stage of fertilizer, but enough to kickstart it, get it going. So as for amount of fertilizer, that's not really something I can advise you on, because first of all, it depends on how much compost you've made up, and also what the fertilizer is you're using. Follow the instructions on the bags. You don't need to overdose. So if you're not sure, go in at half strength with everything. Go in at half strength. That way you're not going to over fertilize, and there's always going to be enough there for the plant. You're going to be potting these things up again in another probably month's time. So they just need enough to get themselves going now for a period. So next we have golden cherries, one we've been growing for quite a few years now. Really nice orange cherry tomato.
Really sweet.
Really, probably the sweetest one I think I've found. Really nice to eat these things straight off of the plant. Again, just pinch out take the bottom few leaves off. Again, nice, big, solid root system. That's what you want to see. One little firming and then a tap, and that's it. Job done. And then obviously once you have finished, you've done your potting. I'm in the part somewhere actually outside in front of the garage today. It's really nice outside. Really warm day. One little firm, done. Drop him in, bit of fertilizer, bit of compost, one little firming, tap, done. No need to smooth it all down and pat it down. And then obviously make sure you give these things a really good soak.
So do you need to sit them in water?
No, I just had this here for when I did some seed. And it's just happened to be here, so it makes no odds. Just stops them dribbling all over the garage floor at this stage.
So generally you would water from
just
the
water
top.
from the top. Make sure the water's coming through. I expect this is coming through nicely.
That's watered well.
Yep, and that'll sit straight on the back in the prop bench. Sounds a bit dry in there, so the extra water coming out the bottom of the pots will actually moisten up the sand. So the last variety we have here at the moment is tomato hundreds and thousands. Yeah, really tiny little tomato, about the size of a marble and smaller, bright red, on a plant that you can grow in a planter on the patio. You could actually put it in a hanging basket, I think, as well, but it just fruits forever. But yeah, I'm not going to do that one now. Same as the others. So that's hundreds and thousands. So that's the early three we've got going for the minute. I do have more sown. So I have some beefsteak and a larger sort of moneymaker size, which is a round solid. And they're not moneymaker. I can't remember which variety. It's a new one I'm trying. They've just been sown, so there'll be a few weeks. But I don't sow everything all at once. I don't want thousands of tomatoes coming up all at the same time. It's nice to stagger them slightly. So that's the tomatoes. Right, next we have some peppers. So I've got two varieties here. Lunchbox mix, nice tiny bite-sized ones come in.
You can literally just pick those off the plant and eat them.
Yep.
They're so nice.
Yeah, they are
So
nice.
sweet.
I'm not a big fan, but even I like these. Red, orange, and yellow from Chilton Seeds out of the UK. And then the other variety I've got is Sweet Pepper Crispy. It's a big yellow.
Nice.
I have sown some other peppers in there. I've got some red and I've got some orange in there on the go. Same procedure. I actually do these differently. I like to, with these, I overfill the pot, hold down the middle with the old finger, knock these out. Now, again, I want to see roots. There's the roots. These are really good size now for potting up, pricking out. I keep saying potting, pricking out. So I think I sowed 6 in here and all 6 have come up. So knock these out, and that is a nice root system for peppers. And again, these were sown, they were sown on the 29th of the 1st, same day as the tomatoes. So just going to gently prise these apart. Give them a little shake. Now I will be a little more careful with these because the stem is much softer. So I'm not going to grab the whole thing. I'm just going to put it between my fingers And there we are. That is a really nice root system for the pepper. So I'm going to extend the whole bit with my finger and wiggle it in. Bit more compost on the top. One little press down. Done. Don't overpot it. Don't overpot it, but don't also put it too deep. Now these will get pinched out, but they're not quite ready yet. And again, I'll let you know when the time is right for pinching these. But again, that's a story for another day. Again, I see so many people making the mistake of letting their peppers get too big, and then they have to go at them with the scissors. There is absolutely no need for that at all. If you pinch at the right time. Again, really nice, strong root system. Make the hole bigger. Wiggle it in with your finger. Little press down, compost. Don't press the plant, just put the compost in and just give it a little press and it settles it in nicely. As long as I've been doing this, and I've been doing this for a long time, I still get things wrong.
Oh my God, Gary.
Yep, and I think it's the only way you learn is by getting things wrong. It's all right if you get it right all the time, you're not learning anything. Now, this is Lobelia Crystal Palace. They were sown on the 4th of the 3rd. When was that? God, that was only 5 days ago. They were sown. They came through really nice. They came through really quickly, and the whole tray was filled, solid. Now you can see there's an area now where there's nothing. I left them on the heat 1 day too long. This whole corner here is damped off. The whole tray was green. That's the consequences of leaving them on heat for too long. So I don't mind because there's plenty there. I mean, there's hundreds of the little buggers there. And I mean, I'll just prick these out eventually into clumps. So there's the thing. As soon as it germinates, you get it off the bottom heat. I left it 1 day too long because I thought, there's a little bit more germination there to come. But there might well be. And I do see 1 or 2 more germinating in this area where they've all damped off. So just lesson learned. Get it off the heat soon as it's germinated. Doesn't matter what it is. Warm. We got a bit of a freaking disaster. My bloody water tank's empty. I don't know. I don't know what's happened, but this one was full to within about 6 inches, and now it's started to melt. Obviously, it's going down. You can see it's dropping, but there's no water in the bottom. So we've lost all the water I collected in the fall and over the winter. There's all.
How thick that ice is.
Yeah, but look down the side here. There's absolutely no water in there. So I'm thinking what's happened is the actual liner is split.
Well, this liner did come from the old property.
Yeah, and if you bring the camera here, I won't get you to walk out because it's mucky, but there's an example there of a split. Oh, look down this side here, Julie. See it?
Oh, yeah.
And down there. And that's actually on a join of the tank. Yeah, I can see right to the very bottom of there. I think what's happened is the ice is pushed out on the side of the tank. And then as the ice has started to melt, he's dragged the liner down and it's split it. So we have no water. So now we'll have to get that. Obviously can't do much until we get all this white shit and ice out of it. And then at that point I can start refilling it. We do have a spring. Luckily we have a spring on the property, which is actually running nicely now. So I'm not too worried. We can get the water from the spring. We're going to pipe it up and then we can fill the tank with that. But there's nothing much I can do with this until this all melts and disappears. If Julie pans around, you can see we've lost a huge amount of snow everywhere. And now we have a swamp. There's water pouring in all places. There's water actually getting into the tunnel. I think I've stopped it now.
When that snow decides to go, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah, it does go really, really quickly. still amazes us how quick it does go. So this is where the new tunnel is going. We are still going to put it in here, but we're going to actually move it further up the hill. I'm going to dig out some more of the bank, and we're just going to slightly rejig this area. But the new tunnel is going to go in here. But obviously, again, we've just got to wait for all this to finally go. It's, what did it say, 12, 13, 14 degrees today?
Yeah.
I think something like that. Really warm. It's actually too warm in the polytunnel now. I really almost want to put some shade on it. But we do, tomorrow we've got torrential rain, and then the next day temperatures dropping. And I think by the weekend we're back into minus 13, minus 14 at night.
Yeah.
So it's that time of year where the temperature jumps up and down, and it's a real pain trying to manage plants in the poly house at the moment. Just trying to keep them, actually now, believe it or not, it's now a case of trying to keep them cool rather than them getting cold, because I just don't want them growing too soft. So I'll go on and get these two pricked out. They're going to go back on the prop bench. There's no heat on the left-hand side, so they'll just get the warmth generated from the right-hand side, and then obviously when the lights come on at night, they're still getting about 12 hours. So the lights are, and they're actually, at the moment, the lights are turned up to their brightest. As time goes on and the plants are settled back in, I'll probably turn the light intensity down a little bit. I don't need to lift my lights up and down. I have adjustment on them that I can turn the intensity up and down, which is absolutely brilliant. So they'll go back in there, probably now for at least another month. It's not warm enough out in the prop tunnel. The temperatures at night are just too low still. So I hope that's been of interest. Next week, it's actually annual and vegetable sowing.
Yay.
Yep. So finally next week we can get started on our cosmos, our zinnias, some of our vegetables. Some of it will go on the prop bench, and some of it will actually go cold into the greenhouse with no heat at all. But we'll go all over that next week. So this week's, I think, is going to be a shorter episode, which you might like.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, because Gary's jabbering on about a little crap again, like he always does. But next week's will be a long one. Next week we might have to split it into two. We might have to do like an annual flower one and then an annual quick vegetable one. But we'll see. We'll have to talk to the filming and the editing department about that one. Apologies for the noise. Neighbours out cutting firewood. Like I say, beautiful day, sunny. Rottweilers panting in the background, even in the garage. So
spring is
coming just for a couple of days, and then it's buggering off again. But that's just typical of our Ontario weather at this time of year. So until next week, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch up with you then. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.